What happened? There we go. Okay, you guys. I'm in the process. So this is July 2022. Who knew? I'm going to be working. We're going to get right into our warm up. I'm going to be working on my pad. And I have my little chair here. So we're going to use our chair kind of as a warm up as well. Now, let me reiterate. A lot of stuff that we do in this class is, of course, lining up properly. I do not see him coming in. Anyway, when you work on your feet, you have a very compliant surface, which is a pillow, a disc. A lot of us have discs, okay? That kind of a thing. You got to have a third point of contact for safety's sake. So I'm reiterating safety issues. One of the reasons why I have an elongated warm-up is because, you know, people demonstrate exercises and then they get going into the exercises, but they're not properly warmed up in those muscles and in those joints where we are going to be working. And if you've had issues with joints, if you've had, if you're diagnosed with like osteoporosis, back stenosis, all this kind of thing. I see him. Hi, Tim. I'm glad you came in. Everybody was worried about you.
Thank you.
Okay. So see here? See, I have a bar. Okay. I have it for two reasons. And so I'm going to be going over safety protocol specifically. That's number one. But number two, explaining why. And a lot of people will just fast forward. And if you've been out working around or walking or doing something like that, and you're pretty warmed up, well, good. You can jump to whatever segment that you want, whatever class I'm doing. But I do an elongated warm-up for the simple reason that most of us are doing this in the morning. We've been sleeping all night, okay, hopefully, or rolling around, you know, trying to sleep. See how I'm doing a step up onto the pad? Okay, this is a very good way to get warmed up instead of just walking back and forth. Now I'm going to go from this kind of step up onto a very compliant surface, a little 2-inch pad, like it's almost like a memory foam type thing, but it's not really memory foam. Okay. And see, all I'm doing is bringing my knee up a little bit. I'm not bringing my knee up a lot. And somebody might say, well, you know, how many of those are you going to do, Jeannie? And I'm going to say, well, I'm going to do enough until you start feeling that you're breathing a little heavier. Yeah, that's a good warm up for a lot of reasons. But then we're going to do some specific stuff to warm up our joints, to warm up joints that have been injured, osteoporosis type joints, bones that are connected to the joints, etc. And when you do that, you need a third point of contact. So if you're doing this repeated stepping and let's say you're just not quite on balance, okay, I could make a joke about that, but I won't. Okay, about not being on balance. There's many ways to not be on balance. Okay, see how I'm holding down on this third point of contact here? Well, actually, it's just a second point whenever I bring that leg up. See? So here's the deal. Ask yourself, when you're using a third point of contact, which could be a wall, it could be a counter, it could be a chair, or it could be a pole that you put on the ground beside you. See how I'm doing this? But I make sure that I keep my shoulders down, number one. I'm bringing my knee up just a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm not bringing it all the way up to a 90 degrees. We'll do that in just a minute. However, in this repeated stepping bout, And I'm telling you, if I could do a little experiment and I just had you do this kind of motion, and yeah, we'll do a little turning type things, but always have a wall, back of a couch, a table that's not going to move, something, a chair or a pole that you can put your hand on, always. When you're going to do repeated stepping with one leg into a very compliant surface, meaning a pillow type thing, soft, squishy, or even if you just step out onto your floor, okay? You want to keep your shoulders down, breathing in through the nose as much as possible, in through the nose and out through the nose. If you have to go out through your mouth, fine. Keep my tummy tight. And now you should start seeing that you're in fact breathing deeper or more often. And notice we haven't done any great, huge, hard effort here. We've done repeated, alternating with a knee up task. And we've kept at it now for like 3-4 minutes, right? I know. Okay, so now I'm going to step up here. I'm going to step back and come back to the disc, step back. Again, we are doing single leg tasks, single leg skills, okay? So don't do them fast, number one. Number two, if you tend to be a little wobbly, keep that pole in contact with the ground, or put your hand on the chair or the wall. This is for safety, okay? And at the same time now, I'm breathing deep in through my nose. I'm stepping back. And when I step back off of this little pillow, A, drop my shoulders. B, rib cage up. C, tummy is tight. And when I step back, many of us that have joints replaced, the stepping back or the knee lifting, coming forward, any kind of move like that, where you're one-legged, because we tend to over lean to avoid what we have had in the previous to having our joints replaced or whatever, it hurt. And so we're trying to avoid that, number one. But number two, we do little compensatory moves that get us into trouble. The one for people with joint replacements, you must understand we're gonna have some wobbling. So you want to mitigate it. So I'm trying to help you do that right now. So as I open this, as I say rib cage up, and I don't over press forward. I have my bar, I can have it here or have it down so that I don't over lean, okay? I cannot, that's probably what I'll title this. Are you over leaning? Well, I'll tell you, if you've had a knee issue, a hip issue, a back issue, an ankle issue, any of that, and you haven't fully addressed it, or you know you tend to hunch forward, you overlean. So this is about lining ourselves up, taking those big steps. We've warmed up, and let me go back where I said if I could do a little experiment. Remember when I said that? My mind jumped to the next thing, and I know you couldn't keep up. My husband used to tell me, Jeannie, concentrate. And I said, I'm already to the next thing. I've already concentrated for that thing that we were talking about. Okay, so here I am. Try not to overly, see, I'm really feeling this through here. Because yeah, I have some tightness starting on the other hip. I feel it, I know it. So I'm managing it. That's it. You manage these issues. See how I'm stepping back? Taking big deep breaths in through the nose, out through the nose if possible. When you step back, I will guarantee you somebody out there has turned your foot. Okay, now act like I'm punching you right here. Depending on who you are, depends on how hard I punch. Okay, now tighten, load right here, not in the knee. Come up, okay? If you need to use this as a balanced medium, and I might on this side, because I would tend to over lean, to compensate in not a good way, okay? So I just keep aligning. If I've got this back, so I feel this, I want to feel it right here when I step forward, right there, okay? See how I'm stepping forward? Okay, hold that thought. We're going to do a lot of work doing the move I just did. What was it? Okay, let me step off on the other leg. I'm going to step off, okay? A, yeah, line up. But B, on this particular test, is take a look at your front knee. If it's way out over your toe, you gotta punch yourself back. Okay, you soften the back knee a tiny bit, but it's pretty straight because my rib cage is really up. Yeah, I feel my back. It's very good on the back, this position. Keep my chin tucked. Okay, tighten in because we're gonna come up. Okay, so this is the move that I want you to lock in because we're gonna do a lot of work from this kind of a move. Number one, I'm on this pad. It's throwing me, okay? This is excellent for proprioceptive muscles, all right? Here's my bar. All I gotta do is put it here. If I start to get too wobbly, yeah. Your heel is down and back, okay? You don't lock that knee and you don't bend it, but it is soft, okay? You don't lock it. You can bring that bar up anytime as long as you're not leaning out. You got it? Now act like you're gonna bring the back leg up. This is the move I want you to lock in so you understand. See, I'm gonna release my heel. Now I'm on my toe. Now I have to bend the back knee and I'm gonna act like I'm gonna put it up here. See, but I don't. Yes. Take a breath. Drop your shoulders, say rib cage up. Okay, act like you're gonna step up, release that back leg, but put it back down. So it's just a real quick, it's actually a single leg modified or high squat is what it is. See, I'm right here. I'm gonna release the back leg, but I'm not gonna straighten this. Okay, so I come up like I'm gonna step up, but I don't. See this bar? Okay, pretend this bar is weights. Yeah, I didn't say how much. Tight tummy, drop your shoulders. As soon as you get ready to step forward, many of you hunch your shoulders. Did you know that? I caught you. See what I'm doing? Now, when I do this in a minute with the other leg, if you can observe what I'm doing, you're going to see that I tend to overlean. Like on this one, this is my replaced knee. But I'm much more stable on this side because I still have an intact hip joint. See how I'm going to come up, but then I go, no. So you just change your mind. Act like you're going to step forward. Your stomach has to be super tight. Oh, and come back down. Right there. Okay, this knee, don't let it buckle. What do I mean by that? Don't let it go in or out. It stays right over the shoelaces, pretty much. Okay, I just got two more on this one. I'm trying to get you a big overload going with no weight, okay? Okay, take a breath, come up. So I'm on my disc, right? So this is pretty tight. So I'm gonna step out and just turn my toe out. before I switch and go to the other leg. See that? So I just turn the toe out, just like that. And if you need to lean on this, that's fine. If you need to push your butt back, that's fine. But what's not fine is if you cave and flex your back. Don't do that, okay? So I'm right down here, right down here. Yeah, that's amazing how that releases all of that tension that you just built up in that hip. Okie dokie. Big breath through the nose, out through the nose if possible. Okay, so now take a big deep breath and we're gonna go back with the other leg, okay? So now I'm gonna be on the other leg. Take a big deep breath. You're holding it up there. Now you're gonna weight lift with this one. So figure out which one, step back. So this is the one now. Now, I'm gonna attempt to do the first couple of these with no third stability point, okay? It's here. I have my chair here. See, I can put my hand on my chair or on my bar to get my balance if I need to. I'm gonna try to do this first couple of what we were just doing. So I'm in a split stance. My knee in the front, if I were with just you and you're in this stance, I would just check to make sure that your toes are pretty forward. Some of them might be out a tiny bit, but not much. My tummy's tight, my shoulders are down. But here's what I would really be watching carefully. Number one, are you leaning like this? Punch back. Soften the knee in the back, but don't bend it, okay? So that means it's not locked. And in the front, here's what I would really be watching. I want that knee to be, I want to look down and see my shoelaces. See? If I'm way out here, I can't see my shoelaces when I dart my eyes down. That's the test. Number one, look at your toes, because you will do the funniest little tweaks to keep your balance. Don't turn those toes out like a duck. Don't do it. Don't hunch and lean forward. Don't do it. Don't lean that chin out. Use your bar if you need extra balance, or widen your base. You can do that without turning and hunching and all that. Okay, so I'm in this position. I'm going to act like I'm going to bring my leg up. I can use the bar or not. I'm going to try the first couple without the bar. I'm going to act like I'm going to release my leg here, but then I'm going to come back down. See that? That's the move. So shoulders down, chin tucked, look down. So I can tell you already that on this leg, when I go to release my leg in the back, I can tell you I lean my knee out more. Okay, so I don't want to do that. So what am I going to do? I am going to use my balanced mediums to prevent me from over leaning. See, I'm going to come in like this, and then I'm going to come down. And those people with me that have had significant knee issues and or have your hips replaced especially, wow, you will almost do anything to avoid doing the very muscles that we have to keep strong. So act like you're going to come forward and lift that leg up, but then don't, and come back down. You will start to innervate muscles around that hip, which is right here, like nothing else. If you will break this move down and really push into your whole foot, but especially your heel as you go to lift, and see how I'm using my balance bars. So yeah, I could bring this leg up. See, I could bring it up. And if I don't use my balance bars, I can tell you, I over lean. That's not what we want. I want to finally get that muscle going. Okay, and this is the kind of move that will do it. So line yourself up again. Use your little balance mediums gently. Really keep yourself from over leaning. Bring that leg up and then say, oh no, I'm not going to stand up. So you just change your mind. That's it. And then when you put your foot down, make sure you go back far enough. Okay, if you don't go back far enough, you're going to shove yourself forward. Okay, let me explain to you. This is the kind of thing, this is the kind of move, especially doing it with people with joints replaced, back issues, osteoporosis, all these issues. This tutorial that I just took you through with acting like you're stepping up onto this very compliant, spongy surface, staying lined up, pressing down, try to use it minimally, but you got to use some kind of a third point to help you stay lined up. Why? To get to those muscles that are very lazy. Yeah, and you don't even know it. That's the whole thing. You don't even know it. Once you've had your joints replaced, your muscles, the joint works differently. You got to really, really understand how to innervate these muscles without overdoing it, okay? This is one of the moves that I would choose. Now, that said, I'm going to do this very move in just a minute with weights. So I can tell you right now, just trying to stay lined up and really make my muscle finally work properly, because I lined myself up properly. I put the load on that front leg. This is my hip that's replaced. This is very nuanced movements, meaning small, little, kind of the littlest thing can make a difference, okay? The littlest thing. Take a breath, drop your shoulders, drop your chin, go into that front foot. If you're over leaning, you will not feel it in your quad like I'm wanting you to, okay? You'll feel it in the shin, you'll feel it in maybe your gluteal a little bit, which I'm wanting you to, but you won't feel it here. I'll tell you, you line yourself up and you do this repeatedly like this, you will start finally feeling it right here. So if you've injured your legs, okay, step off, or you have a joint replaced, especially a hip, that move is money as far as really getting these and keeping these, okay? And that's what's so important. All right, so I told you I was going to use the chair. So here we go. Now I still have just my bar. I just have my body weight, right? So we did repeated stepping first, just repeated stepping. I didn't bring the leg up. And I just said, watch how you're leaning, line yourself up, right? And then we just stepped off. Yeah, we just stepped off, okay? So now I'm gonna use my little bar. I'm gonna come forward. I'm gonna put my foot all the way up into the chair, okay? When you do this, use a wall or put yourself against the wall. Everybody's situation is a little different depending on what kind of room setup they have, okay? If you don't have a wall, use your dadgum bar here, okay? I forgot, I have to explain to Carol what dadgum is. I'll do that off camera, okay? Okay, I think Elisa is on, she's laughing. Okay, looky here. When I put my leg all the way up, if you have wonky hips, if you have arthritis in your hips, if you have hips replaced, if you have any number of things going on, tendinitises, bursitis, this is a big move, okay? It is, because when you go to shift, to bring that leg up, and you do it properly with your rib cage up, your chin tucked. I'm telling you, bringing that hip all the way up and doing that plant right here, that's a big move, okay? So once you're up there, step into your chair, keep your foot where it's supposed to be, and then just lean forward as far as your hip and knee will allow you, and then come back. See that? So here I am, flat-footed on the chair. I'm gonna drop my chin, drop my shoulders. I'm gonna come forward as far as I feel I can, and then I'm gonna come back. Great movement, mobilization here. Here we go. Drop your shoulders, say rib cage up, go into that move, keep your heel in the back down. Some of you are gonna wanna bring it up. How do I know that? Because I have slugs in my class and I love slugs, and that is what slugs do. The minute they feel a little stretch, well, they're gonna lift their heel. Okay, keep that heel down, move forward. Okay, and come back. Okay, number one, that was a really good mobility move coming off of what we just did. But number two, when you go up this high and put your foot in a normal chair, okay, and maybe it's too much for you. Maybe you need to go to a lower chair, which is fine, okay? That's number two. But if your foot is pretty straight on, at the most it's turned out, I don't know, 10 degrees, no more than that, 10 or 20 degrees. Okay, you soften your knee. And when you start to go forward, see, you're kind of sharing it, but you're really not. Because if you're really hanging out here and you're moving forward as far as you can, and on this side, I don't go forward as much as I did on the other side. Why? Because this knee is replaced. Okay, if I was with some trainer that hadn't even bothered to ask, well, why can't you go any further? Why can't you go any further? You need to go further. I'm like, it won't go. So that's why this is such a good move. See, I'm gonna go front to back. Okay, so I was explaining why the third reason this was so good. See, I'm putting some great pressure in this hip, the one that's in the floor, okay? And many times, like I was saying, these little nuanced, tiny little moves that make a big, huge difference. A lot of times it takes time, number one. And everybody that joins a class, they want to just keep moving, just keep moving. You know what? If you just keep moving and you're moving wrong, well, that's a formula for disaster, isn't it? Okay, so see how I'm coming in? See how I'm coming in? I say rib cage up, chin tucked. I can tell you I am feeling a lot of pressure right here, okay? But it didn't start that way. That's why this is such a great move. It is really helping to give endurance and strength and mobility to my back, my hips, my knees, my ankles, my feet, in this little, very small move. Keep your chin tucked, keep your tummy tight, take a big breath, and man, am I feeling it over here. Woo! Okay, I'm gonna do 2 more. I think I've got 2 more in me. That's one. Hold it down here, correct all those little joints. Come back. Okay, I got 1 more, and this is really going. So it's right here. Breath, 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 and come back. Now bring that leg down and turn the toe out. We didn't do that before. Sorry. Turn the toe out. Yeah, release all that tension. See that? Take a big deep breath. Yes. Yes. Now, I'm going to take my bar and I'm going to just reach it out. See that? And all I'm going to do is act like I'm doing a bear crawl. So how am I doing that? I'm bringing my knee to the front of the chair, coming back. Drop your shoulders. That's number one. Okay, if you've got a bar in your hand and you have your arms too far up and you've had a shoulder issue, it's not going to feel good. Okay, you want to seat your shoulders down into your back. That's why I keep saying shoulders down. Now, instead of me staying in one position with the knee up, I'm only going to go part way. I'm going to touch the shin to the front of the chair, reach out and do a turn and a turn. And I'm going to do that once or twice. And I'm going to bring it down. I'm going to shift. My knees are soft. My butt is pushing back a little. My chin is tucked. My rib cage is up. Do not take your hands out first. You get that shin at the front of the chair first. Then you reach out. Then you turn and you turn. Just twice. Then you shift. So step shoulder width. Shift. Right to the shin. Right there. Okay, reach. My knee is soft. Turn and turn. Bring it in. Down. Shift. Okay, the knee is soft. Do a hip hinge, a tiny bit of hip hinge. Bring my knee up first. So I'm at my shin. Okay, now reach. Now turn and turn. Turn and turn. And bring it back down. Okay, now I can keep going with this, but I need to go back and start our sequence with weights here in just a second. So before I do that, I'm going to take this, bring it to the top of my head, take my elbows so that it's in line with my body and rotate down. Okay, so let's do that again. So I'm right here. I'm on my floor, not the pillow. I'm wider than hips. Okay, wider than shoulders. Bring it right to here. Okay, let's do that again. See how I come up, I drop my shoulders. Yeah, take a big breath. Now, right this moment, drop your shoulders. Tight tummy. Rotate. Big breath. Come back up. Right there. Okay, I want you to do that 2 more times. You can go ahead and open the garage. I'll be out there in just a minute. I got workers. Take a breath and come back up. Okay, now stay with me, you guys. Oh dear, we got the dogs involved. Okay, right here. Look at my elbows. Okay, I rotate, I don't drop them. Okay, that's a big difference to think about. Okay, you're setting on all 4 corners of your feet, your tight tummy, rib cage up. Okay, rotate. And the bar just stays under your, basically under your chin. See? See? In distance, not actually. Otherwise, you'd have to roll your wrist, and I don't want you to roll your wrist. See, it's right here. See? Big breath. Here we go. Big breath. Okay. Those of you with shoulder issues, if you need to do this lower, you can do this lower. However, your goal is range, proper normal range of functioning and motion without pain. I didn't say without getting tired. I said without pain. Drop your shoulders. Here we go. Here we go. See my wrists, my elbows, and my my shoulder or armpit is in the same plane. That's your lineup, okay? All four corners of your feet, soft knees. Here we go. Drop your shoulders. See, every time you do this, to avoid working the weaker muscles, you hunch, because those are the stronger muscles, okay? Keep your shoulders down. I just got 2 more of these. Hang in there with me. Tight tummy. Here we go. Here we go. Stay with me. Stay with me. Keep your shoulders down. Breath. Okay, and come down and come down. And some of you are going, oh man, am I glad she's off that one? Well, that's the one that I would choose for you to do again on Sunday or Monday. And it's super easy with this bar, right? Okay, maybe it's not, but anyway. Okay, we started this session simply stepping and doing a knee up. Stepping and doing a knee up. This is how we started, see? So, A, we don't do it fast. B, we use a third point of contact if we need to, okay? I would rather you line yourself up and use your joints really well, slowly, rather than leaning in, okay? If you have to use a third point of contact, it could be a wall, it could be a simple pole, okay? See that? Like a walking stick or something like that. This is just a mop handle. I like to keep things fancy. Okay, so this is how we started, right? Lining up. We did some very nuanced moves with body position, okay? Especially as it relates to hips, especially if you have arthritis, if you have all kinds of stuff going on. So what am I gonna pick up now to start with? Well, I'm pretty warmed up. We've done a lot of loading already. So I'm not gonna start with my lightest. I'm gonna go up one. So what am I gonna start with? A 9 and a 9. That's what I'm gonna start with. Okay. I should say continue with. We have already started our strength work. Okay. So big breath. Yes. I'm gonna do like this and like this. And this is a 9-pound weight in each hand. Now, if you tend to get really wonky when you step on a pillow, by that I mean losing your balance, then don't step on the pillow when you do these tasks with a heavier weight, okay? The biggest deal is, are you lined up properly? And are you squeezing the muscle as you do the lift? Keeping your elbow tucked right to your side. Okay, that's number 1. So if you want to step up into a pad, a bench, whatever, well, that's good. Step up there. See, that's fine. But if that gets you off, then don't. Just step up on the floor. Okay, so I'm taking a very functional move right now, and I'm weight loading. And I'm stepping up, keeping my balance. My knee has to be very soft. Rest right there. And if you're over leaning, when you lift that weight and you bring that leg, you're going to be out here. Okay. Typically, you're going to be rounding your back. That's not what I want you to do. Okay. I want you to say rib cage up as you curl. As you bring this knee up, see, all I'm doing is bringing my knee up, kind of like you're taking a walk, only this is a weighted walk, okay? We have just stressed a lot of your joints, your backs, your hips, especially. And now, and we've done shoulder rotations in such a way that really made you use those shoulder muscles, okay? So on this one, all I wanna do is bring that knee in like I'm gonna take a step. See, I have to do this to take a step. That's it. Breath. So after I've done that, then I'm gonna come right back, sit back. I'm gonna come here and go right above my head and come back down and back down, okay? So I'm off on the floor, I'm stepping wide, my hips are back, I'm gonna go right there and then right to above my ear and then come down. Sit back, here we go. Bring it right to the front of the shoulder and now go up to just above my ear and then come down, all the way down. Breath, right there to the shoulder, go up just above the ear and come down. Here's my question. As you're coming up to the shoulder, release your grip, okay? A little bit. I don't mean to drop the weights. I just don't want you gripping super tight. Okay, I'm above the ear, but look at your elbow. See, as I come down, that elbow's gonna tuck right into my side. Some of you, unwittingly, you're not thinking about it, and you go into some bad habits. Okay, so there I am, touching that shoulder. Here I go, right above the ear, and then I come all the way down, tuck that elbow right into my side. You got it? So you should be sitting into your heels right now. It's a semi-squat position. My rib cage is up. I'm breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. I'm coming to the shoulder, then I'm lifting right above the ear, and then I'm coming all the way down, tucking it in. Here we go. Shoulder, go all the way to the ear, bring her down. I got 2 or 3 more, okay? Come right there. Come all the way down, set into your heels. Shoulder, right above the ear. Whoa. Take a breath. Drop your shoulders. Here we go. And here we go. And here we go. And here we go. To the shoulder, above the ear, all the way down. This is the last one of this one. Here we go. Right there. Right there. Woo. Right there. Right above the ear. All the way down. Okay, you're in a perfect position now. Release your hands, wiggle your fingers. Okay. Bring those shoulders together. And then push out. Then bring them back in. Go deep with your squat. Push them out. Come back in. Push them out. Come back in. Keep your chin tucked. Push them out. Come back in. Push them out. Come back in. Push them out. Come back in. Take a breath. Okay, every time I come in with my weights and rest them on my thigh, my quad, right there, my shoulders are super in. Then I just go out. Then I come back in. So every time you bring these weights off your thigh, right there, the shoulder blades go in. Breath. Squeeze those shoulder blades back in. You're sitting into the heels. Woo! Back. Push. Back. Keep your chin tucked. Back. Keep your chin tucked. Back. Just 2 more. Just 2 more. Just 2 more. We got it. Breath. And back. And bring them right here. And rack your weights. Open your hands. Close your hands. Open your hands. Close your hands. Open your hands. Close your hands. Yes. Okay. I'm going to move my little pillow right there in front of my chair. Okay. So this next couple moves are going to be about core, pulling it together, and some of the back antagonizers of what we've been using. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna step up here on my Kayla. It's at least a foot or two separated from my chair. Okie dokie. So I'm gonna put one foot right in the middle, put my hands on the chair, the front of the chair. I'm gonna bring that knee in and then push back, okay? And I'm gonna drop my elbows as I bend my knee. See, I'm just gonna do 2 or 3. Okay. Put your foot down, move it to the center. Okay, so when I do this move, see, when you see me bending, I have already rolled my elbows so that when they bend, they're heading toward my feet, okay? So roll them in, bend them, take your leg up, and it's out and drop. Come back. So this is the workout that's the nuanced moves, the very small, little, very powerful moves. Turn the elbow in, bring your leg up, reach it out, and now do that little dip. Okay, you're dipping through the knee and you're dropping your elbows with your hands on the chair seat. One more. Breath and come back and come back. Switch. So a thing to check is when you get ready to move and you get ready to bring this leg in, okay, and back, typically you're gonna want to round your back. So I'm telling you, don't do that. Okay, so when you get ready to bring this leg back, bring those elbows in, drop and lift, drop and lift, drop and lift. So this is core, this is forearm, switch legs, bring it back, bring those elbows in, drop, breath, reach that leg out, breath, whoo, breath, bring those elbows down, breath, and breath, bring it back in. Okay, step wide, still on the chair, you're gonna grab the chair back, and you're gonna sit your butt back as you roll your chin down and under, okay? Take a big deep breath, straighten those legs. Yeah. And you're gonna reach, keep your heels down. You're gonna rotate forward and back with your legs very straight. Forward and back. Keep your heels down. Woo, stretching through that lower back, all the way through the shoulders. You're holding your chair back. Hang out there for a few seconds. Now your elbows on that chair. Okie dokie. Come up to your wrist. And you're going to bend the knees and rotate to the side. Bend the knees, rotate side to side. Side to side. And here's what you should really be noticing. When you rotate and you're ready to bring that leg to the side, whoa, you're using your core right there. Breath, breath, right there. Breath, right there. Breath, breath, breath. Elbows are soft. Elbows are soft. Keep your chin tucked. Okay, now start to rotate your chin to one shoulder, then to the other shoulder as you're looking at that leg that's coming up. Rotate. This is core work, shoulder work, leg work. Breath, turn your neck. Chin over the shoulder. Chin over the shoulder. Okay, one more, we got it. Okay, stay with me. Yay. Now, push that heel back, go to your toes, come down to your little elbows, and then drop into your core move, your plank, and then go further, and then drop those knees down. Okay, so that was a very different way to get you into that position, I know, okay? You want me to do it again? Here's what we do, okay? Help yourself up, put your toes on the little pillow, you're on your hands, you're kind of in a little hip up position. You're gonna crawl out, you're gonna go down to your elbows. So now you're in a chair plank. You're gonna hang out for just a few seconds here. Breath. Then you're gonna bring your knees down. And then you're gonna do your hyperextension. So here you go. See how I'm doing my hip forward position? Chin tucked. Woo! Take a big breath. Take a big breath. Take a big breath. Whoa. And you're going to use your chair to stand up or not, whichever you feel comfortable doing. You're going to go to the side. You're going to push your knee open and turn. See that? Yeah, I didn't get up immediately. Okay. Here's my chair. I'm going to act like I'm going to get up. But don't just get up. Use this position to turn against, away from this knee, and really push this knee and get that all mobilized, all through your core and especially your hips, okay? Especially your hips. This is a good way to do it. Okay, so here I am. I can use this or not to get up. It's whatever you would like to do. Gently, gently. Woo! And you should feel pretty good right now. Pretty good. I hope so. I hope you didn't fall on the floor doing that last move.